You might be comparing this with other stocks, the Bitcoin craze that's going out there, the latest tulip mania. You could be comparing this with bonds and any other investment vehicle out there. I challenge you to look at it from these 5 points of view. Does the investment that you're comparing real estate with offer income? I know I'm talking about cash income, not paper gains, not future gains, but today gains, today cash flow gains. Number two, does it offer tax advantages? And that's the second big advantage that real estate has. In fact, I will tell you that real estate offers more tax advantages than any other investment vehicle out there. And one of the reasons why it's worth taking a good, hard, strong look at real estate as an investment. And so not only do we have things like depreciation, which, think about it, depreciation is an expense that I get to use on my tax returns that I don't actually have to write a check to get that write-off. If I want to spend money to improve my properties, that is a tax write-off also. And so I get the government's subsidy. They subsidize my improvements, my expenses that I have at the rate of my tax rate. But depreciation, I don't actually have to write a check. I get to take that expense off of my taxes, and I get that benefit. And like that, there are 1031 exchanges, which allows me to sell a property at a profit and not pay the taxes now, but roll it into the next property and pay it at some future time. So that's a big advantage. And so like that, there are several others, becoming a real estate professional, being able to take a lot of the expenses that otherwise might even be your regular expenses, wear and tear in your car, gasoline, mileage, and things like that. All of those, and especially if you can determine and back up that you're a real estate professional, and that'll be a conversation probably just for an entire show. But if you can back up and become a real estate professional, then the tax advantages become even greater and more unlimited. So tax advantages are a huge advantage. And that's point number two. The next part is, well, let's talk about the equity. And we are always talking about equity here because equity is such an important thing. And for many of us out there, equity is part of the goal. It's one of the goals, is to create and have as much equity as possible. And the neat thing about equity in real estate, and equity, for those of you who want the definition is the difference between the value of your asset minus what you owe against it. The difference is the equity that you have in the house. When you first buy a house, many times, the house is, you're buying it at the appraised value. You put 10% down. 10% is your equity. The rest, your 90% mortgage, is what you owe. So what you really have in that real estate is 10% equity. Well, the neat thing about real estate and equity, number one, is that many times I can buy property with built-in equity. Just because I put 10% down on what the property was selling for, maybe I bought it below market value. So I can create equity essentially out of thin air, out of my good negotiating ability. Number two, I can create equity by doing improvements. So I can upgrade the kitchen, I can add square footage to the house. I can literally control and create equity in a property that already exists. So there's two ways that I can actually create through my knowledge and experience and expertise. There's two ways that I can actually build up or create equity. The third way that I can build up equity is through the systematic pay down of that debt that we talked about, the mortgage. And so every month when I make my planned mortgage payment, there's a little bit going to principal and the rest going to the interest. And as time goes on, that relationship grows. I start paying more and more principal, less and less proportionally in interest, until eventually I'm paying the last payment, which is all of the principal. So I can also, by rearranging, we talk about this in our Monday workshops, the Equity Builder workshops. And those of you who are interested in attending our next Equity Builder workshops, I'm going to give you a phone number in just a second that you can text and get a free invitation into our real estate listeners only workshop about how to build equity. And we gave you a couple of the ways how, what were the ways, but on Monday nights, we talk about the how to do it. So if you want to text the word equity to 561-861-2366, that's 561-861-2366. That's exactly what we're going to talk about on our Monday night workshops. And so in addition to the equity, and we can talk about the forced equity, the natural equity, and the created equity, you also get the appreciation of the property. Now, this, you don't have to do anything. You just have to be at the right place at the right time. You're in this marketplace. If you own real estate, you are experiencing appreciation. And that's a great thing. In fact, great deals, great sums of money are made during these times. And so what you want to do is kind of like being a surfer. You want to be in front of the wave of appreciation. And it is not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. So the automatic landlord knows how to stay above water, right? Positive cash flow, waiting for those waves of positive appreciation. And that's how they multiply. That's the multiplicable effect that you see real estate investors. And that's why you hear so many investors become very wealthy over time, because they practice these very safe and simple approaches to income producing real estate that creates wealth, legacy, and like I said, today's word is equity. And you can even text us the word equity to 561-861-2366, and you'll be invited to our Equity Builder workshop coming up this next Monday. So the last of the 5 comparisons. So I want you to compare, does your investment vehicle that you're considering offer you current income? Does it offer you tax advantages? Does it offer you equity and equity building opportunities? Does it offer appreciation as well? And finally, the 5th factor, does it offer you leverage? Can I control a large asset? For example, I buy a $100,000 property, I put 10% down, $10,000, but I control a $100,000 property. That's called leverage. And it allows me, in order to benefit also from the fact of the real estate appreciating on the 100%. So if it only goes up 5% or $5,000, now what I have is a $5,000 gain on a $10,000 investment. That's not a 5% gain on my investment. That's a 50% gain on my investment. So that leverage can be very, very powerful, very, very rewarding for real estate. So that's the 5 reasons why I said real estate, and especially from the point of view as a landlord, this is a great thing that you get to do. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here. A few words from our sponsors. You're listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Wilner. Don't touch that dial. Don't touch that screen. We'll be right back. Hey, Simone, to all of those of you listening in on our Facebook page. And we just had so much stuff that we covered, and I'm going to get into more of that as we call. Hey, Earl the Pearl from Chicago. How are you out there? How's Servant Real Estate Investment Group doing? Good to see you again on our Facebook Live. Long time no speak. And I definitely miss our group calls. Marcelo from Brazil, I'm back. How are you? Hey, by the way, you missed a great call just before the radio show. I was on a call with our partners in Brazil. We've got just a tremendous thing going on right now in Brazil. Marcelo knows about it. He's a part of it. And what I'm looking for is anyone out there who knows an agent that speaks Portuguese or has connections in Brazil. If you know an agent in Brazil, text the word agent to 561-861-2366. I definitely want to talk to you about that. And same thing goes for you, Earl, in Chicago. Do you know any Brazilians in Chicago? I know they're out there. Anyway, we're getting ready to come back into the show. And welcome back for those of you just joining us here on The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Wilner. I am your host, as I have been for the last 22 consecutive years. The Real Estate Show is America's longest running daily radio show all about real estate. It is also the #1 radio show about real estate. And each week we get together and we talk 5 days a week. In fact, I always like to say we're here 5 days a week at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we come at you 5 different ways, which I normally tell you at the beginning of the show, didn't tell you that we're on the AM station here in South Florida. And if you're looking for us on the AM station, we're on 1470. You can also find us on the FM station, FM 96.9 and 95.3, just to name 2 of the FM stations. We're also on the apps, as now we become more connected. The app is a great way. In fact, this is a whole other neat conversation we'll be having in a couple of weeks, is real estate and connectivity. And the Real Estate Show, which is heard live 5 days a week, 5 p.m. on 5 different ways. The third way is on the app. And on the app, you can find it on iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the Spreaker app, the Radio.com app, and there's even probably many, many more that I don't even know about, let alone list here. And all you have to do is search for WWNN 1470, and you'll come across. It's part of the Money Talk Radio Network, and we are there live Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 3 ways. Let's see, AM, FM, the app. The 4th way is on our website, automaticlandlord.com. And that's a really important one to remember. Just remember, automatic landlord. We've been talking about the last 2 weeks about the automatic landlord process. We were talking earlier in the first half of the show about the automatic landlord 5 advantages, the 5 reasons why you want to be an automatic landlord. And that doesn't even consider, all the different reasons. When I look at different businesses, and we're involved in a number of businesses, real estate has given us the opportunity to be involved in other businesses as well. We own a little piece of the internet. We own a lot of pieces of land. We own a little bit of this media company. And in every one of these businesses that we do get involved in, just like real estate, I'm always looking for, is it a business that offers recurring cash flow? That's a #1. If it doesn't offer recurring cash flow, don't even tell me about it. I also look at it, is it scalable, right? Can I build it up and can I scale it up? Can I automate it? And as you know, the automatic landlord knows that real estate can be automated, and so are these other businesses that I'm mentioning about. Is the inventory replenishable? I mean, think about it. If you're selling widgets and you run out of widgets, kind of like what's going on in the real estate market. We're going to get to that in just a second. That when you run out of inventory, you run out of the ability to sell. And who wants to be in a business where you run out of inventory to sell? Now, as a landlord, the property is still there. I didn't sell it. I now have the ability to rent it out. And I can now benefit and get that recurring income from that replenishable, never-ending, sustainable asset. It also is location free, right? I can own properties in Texas, in California, in Florida, in Pennsylvania, and that's really important. Can I run my business from a distance? And we're going to talk more about we'll talk some more about those businesses as the weeks go on. And third and final, or not third and final because I went down, scalable, automatable, replenishable, location free, and outsourceable. Another 5 reasons. We just love the number 5 here. But I was on the 4th, that automatic landlord. We talk about that all the time. And then the final way here, of course, is not only can you hear us, but you can watch us on our Facebook page live. And by the way, that recording, that video also gets posted and on our website, Automatic Landlord. So you got the video, you got the audios, you got the radio, you got the apps. Lots of different ways how you can get your daily dose, your weekly daily dose of vitamin real estate. And you can also get a mega dose on Sundays when we do our real estate show Marathon, all the shows back to back starting at 9 p.m. So if you want to binge listen, in fact, I even sometimes listen to it in the background just to, I can't get enough real estate. And the more I think about real estate, the more I love real estate. So anyway, we talked about Monday, our Monday's on a mission. We talked about our Tuesday. Wednesday's our midweek report. And on our midweek report, we go into the marketplace, look at the news headlines and see what it is that we need to know to make better real estate, better informed decisions in real estate. And we saw that there was a number of real milestones that happened this week. Number one, we talked about sales that were now down for the first 2 months of this year. Why? Lack of inventory. You can't sell what you don't have for sale. And real estate has really been under the pressure of supply and demand. Not enough supply, lots of demand. And again, amazingly so, in spite of, a topsy-turvy stock market, high unemployment figures, the pandemic, and you name it. It has been lots of challenges, and therefore supply and demand also means that real estate values are being pressured up because there's a lot of demand, just not a lot of supply. And I can tell you, even on some properties that we have that are listed, that are available, listed for rent, people want to come and buy it right now. When properties go for sale, there's multiple offers on them. And there's no reason right now why a property that's in good condition, ready for occupancy and priced correctly, those properties we talked about right now, inventory right now is at its lowest level. We saw the largest drop. That was on our Wednesday show. By the way, every one of these things that I'm talking about, and when I refer to that show, remember that show is recorded. It's up on our website at Automatic Landlord. You can go back and listen to the show on demand. There's a downloadable version for a podcast. There is the recorded version right there on the website. You can just go there again, automaticlandlord.com. We talked about the inventory dropped 29.5%, the largest year-over-year drop in history. That means ever. 29.5%. When you think about it, 1/3 of the inventory gone. The average days on market right now, 20 days. Typically, the normal market is 90 days of inventory. We're down by almost 80%. Hey, Felipe, just logged in there on our Facebook Live. And so when you see the extreme scarcity in the marketplace, once again, I'm telling you right now, it's a great time to be a landlord. You put an ad in for a ready to occupy, good condition, fairly priced property for rent. Boom, it's gone. It is very easy to rent a property in today's marketplace. And in fact, what that is causing rent prices to go up as well. So we've been seeing that happen across the board. So the inventory fell, the days on the market fell, the number of sales fell, which you could all say could sound like negative headlines, but they are in fact a great indication for the future of real estate right now. And even though there is this, cloud that everybody loves to talk about, because, people love to talk about the negative much more than they do the positive. The positive is that real estate has become more automated. Real estate has become more accessible. There's better financing out there. Interest rates are extremely low in spite of the fact that they have been creeping up. That's why I say that if you have ever thought about real estate and would like to have an intelligent conversation of how you can do it, regardless of credit, regardless of your current situation, type in the word discovery to our smart number, 561-861-2366 for a complimentary, no cost, no obligation conversation about real estate. All you have to do is type in the word discovery, text it 561-861-2366, and we'll have that conversation. Maybe it's you don't have enough down payment. Don't worry. We've got the down payment assistance program across the country right now that can help you get into a property if down payment is your problem. If credit is your problem, if credit is the problem, let me tell you right here, the Real Estate Show is the solution. We have been helping folks. We even talked about that this week on Tuesday. We were talking about how just by using our Credit Your Rent facility, the ability to add rent. And this is landlords. You should be paying attention to what I'm talking about right here. Being able to report the credit score, the on-time payments of your tenants does two things. Number one, it's a great lever and incentive to get on-time payments. Number one. Number two, it prepares and positions your tenants to be the best buyer for your properties when you're ready to exit and sell it at top retail price to nobody better than the tenant who already lives there. So it's been a great week, lots of information. Then, by the way, on Thursday, a big show, one that you should go back and listen to. And unfortunately, I'm not even going to be able to have time to go back into that. We talked about the 7 ways to avoid foreclosure if you're behind on your payments, either as a tenant or as a landlord or as a borrower at all. That's our Thursday show. Go check that out at automaticlandlord.com. If you have any questions, remember you can text the word discovery to our smart line 561-861-2366. It's in our Facebook Live page. It's on our website, and you just heard it right here on the radio show. But the music is in. That means I'm on my way out. That's it for this week. TGIF, TGIF, TGIF again. Until Monday when we're live again, or until Sunday when you can hear our marathon recording at 9 p.m. right here where you're listening to us now. That's it for today. This is Eric Wallner signing off. Remember, drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye. And we got calls coming in. Janice, a.k.a. Penny. We'll see you then. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Boom. Let's see. Disconnect the radio. Disconnect YouTube. Hey, Brian. Have a great weekend. By the way, we should be having our YouTube page live coming up, if not by Monday, within days.